There are over 10,000 known living species of birds, and among them exist many differences, including in their nesting methods. Cavity nesters build their nests inside of holes or cavities within their environment. Unlike primary cavity nesters such as woodpeckers that excavate their own cavities, secondary cavity nesters utilize existing cavities in their environment, such as nest boxes. One of the goals of my research is to gain insight into how the UT Tyler campus may affect the local bird population, specifically the nesting cavities of secondary cavity nesters. 20 nest boxes were installed across the main campus, as you can see here at each BB, or bird box point on the map. 4 motion-activated trail cameras were periodically moved between the boxes to monitor for different types of activity from the outside. To safely monitor activity within the boxes, a special kind of camera called a borescope was used to view inside each box without opening them, which can harm the nests. The goal was to determine the number of nests, eggs, and nestlings that survived to fledge. In the 2022 breeding season, there was a total of 8 nests, all belonging to eastern bluebirds, or Cyalia cyalis. A total of 6 of those nests yielded eggs, but unfortunately, not all of those eggs survived to hatch and fledge. Overall, the first broods, or set of offspring, seemed to be fairly successful. However, the broods laid later in the season had a more difficult time. In the broods laid in May, 87.5% of the eggs hatched, and of those that hatched, 100% fledged. Yet of the broods laid in June, only 62% hatched, and of those that hatched, only 66% fledged. So, what happened? One of the factors was temperature. In BB2, which has no shade, only 2 of the 5 nestlings survived a week-long heat wave that brought highs of over 100 degrees for 6 days straight. Another factor was people. 2 people, in fact. The nest in BB8 was stolen by a pair of curious humans walking by. Luckily, there were no eggs at the time, but by taking the nest, they prevented any from being laid that season. When approaching the boxes, we walk by in a pass-by looped fashion to prevent leaving a direct scent trail for predators to follow. However, others that come by often don't do this. Raccoons followed the scent trails that were left behind by people earlier in the day to the nests inside BB5 and BB20, and they ate the eggs and nestlings. For the 2023 breeding season so far, we currently have 14 nests, and all have yielded eggs. And of March 29th, 4 already have nestlings, all belonging to eastern bluebirds again, with the exception of one that is our very first nest belonging to a pair of Carolina chickadees, or Poecile carolinensis. At the conclusion of this year's breeding season, the data from both seasons will be compared to evaluate differences in nesting activity across each nest box location.